They told us Remy Ma was on a business trip. 2 days. Out of town. Just meetings, right? Then explain this. Why did Papoose kick open a hotel room door only to find Remy Ma half naked with 50 Cent? What kind of business is that? Is this hip-hop or an episode of Scandal? You thought the Remy Papoose love story was unbreakable? Think again. Because what just unfolded inside that luxury suite has shattered everything, and we mean everything. Sources say Papoose wasn't even supposed to be there. A last-minute emergency dragged him to the same city. But fate clearly had other plans. And when he saw Remy in that situation with that man, let's just say 50 Cent almost didn't make it out of that hotel room alive. So, what really happened behind those closed doors? How long has this been going on? And was Remy's business trip just a cover for something far darker? You won't believe who else might have known and stayed silent. Because this isn't just another celebrity fling. This is betrayal on a nuclear level. And tonight, we're unpacking it all. Stay with us. It gets worse. For years, Remy Ma and Papoose were the poster couple of loyalty in hip-hop. Through prison time, career setbacks, and endless public drama, they held each other down like no other. Fans adored them. Their bond was seen as rare, unshakable. But behind the curtains, something far more dangerous was brewing, and no one, not even the most diehard stans, saw this betrayal coming. Let's rewind just 48 hours before the explosion. Remy Ma, dressed in business casual and a no-nonsense attitude, told Papoose she had an out-of-town meeting. Some hush-hush label negotiation, she claimed. A few music execs flying in. Strictly business, she insisted. And Papoose, the ever-trusting husband, didn't blink. Go handle that, he said. I got us here. Go get us there. What he didn't know, he had just unknowingly given her permission to meet up with 50 Cent, his longtime industry rival. Not for a meeting, not for business, but for something so scandalous, so reckless, it would leave their entire family and half of hip-hop in disbelief. Now here's where it gets messy. See, Papoose had his own little plan too. With Remy Ma out of the picture, he thought he might finally catch up with his ex, the undefeated boxing champ Claressa Shields. He'd been texting her on and off, nothing serious, or so he claimed. Just old flames testing the temperature. And honestly, he thought he had time. 2 days. Just 2 days to play with fire. But fate, apparently, had other ideas. Because barely 24 hours after Remy left, Papoose got a call. An urgent client issue. One that required him to travel to the exact same city where Remy Ma claimed she was attending meetings. A coincidence? Maybe. But karma? Definitely. And it didn't take long for things to unravel. Papoose checked into a quiet hotel on the city's north side. Nothing fancy, just a place to crash between studio visits. But while waiting for valet to bring his bag, he spotted something, or rather someone, across the marble lobby floor. It was Remy Ma. But not the Remy he knew. This Remy was glowing, laughing, and holding onto 50 Cent's arm like they were the next Jay and Bay. Her hands were on his chest. His lips were dangerously close to hers. And they weren't alone. They had a driver. Luggage. Champagne. It wasn't business. It was a getaway. Papoose froze. He ducked behind a fake potted plant and pulled out his phone. No, not to call her. Not to text. But to record. Because at this point, Papoose wasn't just a heartbroken husband. He was a man on a mission to uncover the truth. And, in his mind, that meant evidence. The footage he captured next? If it ever leaked, it would break the internet. Remy Ma and 50 Cent entering a 5-star suite. Key card. Room 614. Both of them giggling like teenagers. Remy in tight designer jeans and heels. 50 Cent whispering something in her ear that made her bite her lip. It was explicit. It was intimate. It was everything Remy Ma had promised she wasn't. And Papoose. He didn't confront them right away. He waited, seething. The next morning, after a sleepless night filled with rage and denial, Papoose returned to the hotel, this time with a plan. He walked straight to the front desk and asked for room 614. When the clerk refused, Papoose flashed a wedding photo from his phone. "My wife is in there," he growled. "And she's with another man. You want to be the reason this goes viral?" 10 minutes later, security escorted him to the 6th floor. Another 2 minutes, and the door was open. And what he saw changed everything. Inside the suite, Remy Ma and 50 Cent were tangled in sheets, barely clothed, half asleep, laughing at something on the TV. They didn't even hear the door open. That is, until Papoose walked in and slammed it behind him. "Really, Remy?" he snapped, voice shaking. "This your business meeting?" 50 Cent jumped up, shocked. Remy Ma gasped, reaching for the robe. But it was too late. The damage was already done. And just like that, Papoose's love story turned into a revenge arc. What happened next? Let's just say hotel management had to call backup. Security scrambled as Papoose lunged at 50 Cent, fists flying. The hallway echoed with screams. A lamp was shattered. A chair thrown. Remy Ma screamed for them to stop. But there was no stopping it. This wasn't just cheating. This was war. The hallway outside room 614 became an all-out war zone. Papoose, usually composed and strategic, turned into a man possessed. He lunged across the suite like he'd been waiting his whole life to hit 50 Cent. And 50? He tried to play it cool, tried to talk, but fists were already flying. "You want my wife? You can fight for her," Papoose shouted, slamming 50 Cent into the edge of the minibar. Remy Ma, still tangled in silk sheets, screamed for them to stop. "Pap, please," she yelled, scrambling off the bed, covering herself. But it was no use. The security guards were too slow, and the damage too quick. A vase shattered against the wall. Blood trickled from someone's eyebrow, no one knows whose. By the time hotel security tackled Papoose to the floor, both men were shirtless, bruised, and still yelling. And then came the part nobody expected. Papoose didn't press charges. You'd think he would've. You'd think a man watching his wife wrapped up with another rapper in a hotel bed would've demanded justice. But no. Because for Papoose, this wasn't about courts or cops. It was about humiliation. Within hours, word of the altercation spread like wildfire. Staff members at the hotel, and allegedly, a maid, leaked bits of the story to online tabloids. TMZ ran with it. Shade Room followed. Then came the TikTok detectives. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag Remy Ma exposed. Hashtag Papoose versus 50. Hashtag caught in 614. And just like that, what was supposed to be a private business trip became the most public scandal of the year. But what really made this go nuclear? Someone, and to this day, no one knows who leaked security footage from the hotel elevator. That's right. Grainy, but unmistakable, the video showed Remy Ma and 50 Cent stepping into the elevator together, smiling, laughing, her hand brushing his chest. And if that wasn't enough, the video had audio. Low, muffled, but one moment stood out crystal clear. 50 Cent whispered, "He still thinks you're in a meeting?" It was over. Papoose went dark. Deleted photos. Unfollowed Remy Ma on Instagram. Removed her from his Twitter bio. Fans went into a frenzy. One follower tweeted, "We just lost the last real couple in hip-hop. God help us." Another said, "She embarrassed him in every way. He'll never come back from this." But then came the real bombshell. An anonymous source claimed that this wasn't even the first time. According to the source, Remy Ma and 50 Cent had been secretly meeting for over 6 months. Allegedly, it started during a studio session when 50 helped her lay down a verse on an unreleased diss track. Things got heated. One night turned into 2, then into full weekends. The source even claimed they had a private suite in Miami they called their safe house. It gets worse. A fake WhatsApp thread was leaked, allegedly showing Remy Ma texting 50 Cent from Papoose's birthday dinner, saying she wished she was with him instead. Another screenshot showed 50 texting, "Leave him. Come build with me." And while the authenticity of the messages was never confirmed, fans didn't care. The idea alone was enough to destroy reputations. By now, the internet had picked sides. Some defended Remy Ma, saying maybe she felt trapped or neglected. Others ripped her to shreds, calling her ungrateful, savage, and worse. But what really sent shockwaves? Clarissa Shields, Papoose's ex, posted a cryptic Instagram story. Black background, white text, one line. I told him she'd do this. That story got reposted over 100,000 times in 2 hours. Suddenly, Clarissa was dragged into the drama too. Commenters begged for her to speak out. And though she never gave a full statement, she liked a tweet that read, "Papoose left a queen for a snake. Should have stayed with the champ." And now here's where things get even more insane. 50 Cent, never one to back down from beef, went on Instagram Live 2 days later. Shirtless, iced out, champagne in hand. And he said this, with no remorse. "I ain't steal no man's girl. She left." The comment section went crazy. He laughed it off like a flex, while Remy Ma, surprisingly, stayed silent. No denial, no apology, nothing. But while social media roasted her, Remy was busy, allegedly, lawyering up. Rumors swirled that Papoose was preparing to file for legal separation, citing public betrayal and humiliation. Insiders close to the situation claimed he was absolutely crushed, but focused on protecting his brand and daughter. Even more dramatic, Papoose's cousin, a rising Brooklyn rapper, dropped a diss track within 1 week. The lyrics? "You let a troll take your queen in a suite / should have known that snake's smile was too sweet." Ouch. And while the drama raged online behind closed doors, Remy Ma's team was reportedly trying to do damage control. One fake PR insider said they were working on a redemption arc, possibly including a tell-all interview, podcast confession, or even, yes, a new reality series deal. But not everyone was buying it. "Too little, too late," said one viral tweet. She didn't just break his heart. She burned the whole house down. And just when it felt like it couldn't get any wilder, security footage from the hotel room hallway was allegedly leaked, this time showing Papoose screaming at hotel staff to open the door, yelling, She's in there with him." That video alone pulled in 5 million views in 24 hours. And the worst part? Insiders claimed 50 Cent didn't even leave through the front door. He escaped out the back exit laughing. As part 2 closes, the damage is done. The internet's divided. The fan base is shattered. And Papoose, the once revered king of loyalty, has been turned into a viral meme. All because he trusted the wrong person. But don't blink. The internet was still on fire. The leaked hallway footage of Papoose demanding the door be opened had turned into a full-on TikTok trend. Edits of Remy Ma looking guilty, 50 Cent smirking in hotel slippers, and Papoose screaming, "She's in there," blasted across every feed. But behind the memes and hashtags, real-world consequences were starting to land, and they weren't funny at all. According to close insiders, Papoose wasn't just licking his wounds. He had gone full scorched earth. Lawyers were called. A possible divorce filing was being drafted. And worse, sources claimed Papoose had full custody receipts. Every wire transfer, every cash deposit into Remy Ma's separate account, even private investigator reports. That's right, apparently, this wasn't the first time he suspected something. And if what these alleged PI reports say is true, Remy Ma and 50 Cent had been meeting up in Atlanta, Houston, and even Dubai. Not for shows, not for music, but for extended stays, as the documents described them. One anonymous leak said, "It's like Papoose had his heart broken twice. First by the betrayal, and then by the realization it had been going on right under his nose for months." But it wasn't just heartbreak anymore. Legal teams on both sides began preparing for battle. Rumors flew about joint business ventures, shared assets, even a co-owned publishing deal, and Remy Ma allegedly trying to secure her share before any official split was announced. And just when it looked like this was headed for a nasty, public courtroom drama, another bombshell landed. A leaked phone call between Remy Ma and an unknown confidant surfaced online, and it had fans shook. In the call, Remy can allegedly be heard saying, "Papoose was never supposed to find out. Not like that. I just needed an escape." That single phrase, an escape, trended on Twitter for 17 hours straight. But then came the most jaw-dropping part of the call. 50 said he'd protect me. He said if Pap tried anything, he'd bury him. And you know he can.
Wait, what?
Was Remy Ma implying that 50 Cent had leverage over Papoose? Was there some deeper, more dangerous feud hiding beneath this love triangle? Suddenly, fans were connecting dots that maybe weren't meant to be connected. Old interviews resurfaced. One where 50 Cent made a joke about Papoose's mixtapes never going mainstream. Another where he laughed off their marriage. Some now claim this was all a long game, a twisted form of revenge. And then the ultimate twist dropped. An ex-employee of 50 Cent's liquor brand came forward anonymously, claiming they saw Remy Ma signing an off-the-books endorsement deal, a deal that would have given her massive payouts if she cut ties with Papoose publicly. The source alleged she was in it for the money. The brand wanted someone with edge, single, scandalous. They knew breaking the marriage would go viral. And she agreed. It was the final nail in the coffin if true. The court of public opinion slammed down its gavel. Even diehard Remy Ma fans started to defect. The comment sections turned brutal. One read, "You don't just cheat. You cheat strategically with paperwork? Nah, you're done." But what about Papoose? For weeks, he stayed silent. No interviews, no posts, just silence. Until, without warning, he showed up on The Breakfast Club. And he came with receipts. Papoose, dressed in all black, sat stone-faced as he told the world his side. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He just told the truth, or what he claimed was the truth. Highlights from the interview included, "I gave her everything, and she gave it away." It wasn't just 50. There were others before him. He was just the boldest. "I still love her, but I love myself more now." And then came his mic drop moment. Papoose pulled out a folder, fat with documents, and placed it on the desk. "I'm filing for full custody of our daughter, and I'm going for everything she thought I wouldn't." The room fell silent. That clip alone hit 10 million views in 3 days. Meanwhile, Remy Ma was reportedly scrambling to rehab her image. She unfollowed 50 Cent, took down recent posts, and released a vague statement on IG that read, "Not everything you hear is true, but not everything you feel is a lie either." Fans were divided. Some praised the cryptic poetry. Others dragged her again, saying it was gaslighting 101. Even celebrities started to chime in. Fat Joe posted a throwback photo with both Remy and Papoose, captioned, "Hate to see this. Praying for both my people. Real ones don't air each other out. They heal." Cardi B liked a tweet that said, "Remy Ma fumbled a real one." And then, just when the flames were starting to cool, 50 Cent dropped a track. Yes, a diss track, titled Room 614. The beat was dark, the hook brutal, and the lyrics? Direct. Told her leave the king, come sit with the goat, / said I'd give her more than he ever wrote. We laughed in them sheets while he played his role, / whole world screaming, Pap lost control. The music video featured a lookalike Remy, a fake hotel suite, and 50 Cent literally answering the door shirtless, smirking into the camera. It was petty. It was brutal. It was viral. And with that move, 50 Cent made it clear. This wasn't just a scandal. It was a storyline. One he was now producing, directing, and profiting from. But here's the final twist. The one no one saw coming. Papoose, days after the interview, was spotted with Claressa Shields. The two were seen having dinner in Brooklyn. No press. No announcement. Just two people. Eating, laughing, reconnecting. And though neither confirmed anything, the internet made its mind up immediately. He's back with the champ. Remy who? So now we ask you, was this all an accident? Or was Remy Ma playing a game only she knew the rules to? Did 50 Cent just break up hip-hop's most loyal couple out of lust? Or out of revenge? And where does Papoose go from here? Back to Claressa? Back to the booth? Or does he disappear from the spotlight altogether? One thing's for sure, the love story we all believed in has officially collapsed. And behind the glitz, the fame, and the hotel walls, we're reminded once again, Even the most loyal hearts can be shattered in silence. If you're just as stunned as we are, hit that like button. If you think Remy Ma went too far, drop a comment below. If you believe Papoose deserves better, share this video with someone who still believes in real love. And if you want more exclusive breakdowns, insider tea, and the truth they don't want you to hear,
Subscribe now.
because here at Gossip Nova, we don't just spill the tea, we drown the lies.